Welcome, crypto traders. Another exciting day in the cryptocurrency markets. We're at our favorite free website, coinmarketcap.com. I've organized it by top volume. And Litecoin has hit $1 billion in trading volume in the last 24 hours. Now, of course, this could very well just be high-speed traders flipping coins back and forth to kind of play with the prices. But still, it is a lot of money being risked into that market. Bitcoin at 2.1 billion, Ethereum at 700 million. Ethereum Classic, man, I was actually talking to one of the top sellers of mining rigs who was giving me a tip about a week ago to get in on Ethereum Classic, and it just skyrocketed yesterday. So let's take a look at our positions. Today, I'm not entering any new positions. I know when you see everything going up every day, you want to jump on it. But I actually like to do the opposite. I like to catch it in two key locations on a chart before I invest. And if we look at our track record, what's crucial is to generate a positive return without taking on a tremendous amount of risk. And so anytime you buy an asset that's going up quickly in price, it has a very high risk of snapping backwards when people start to take profits, and then those profits start to hit stop losses, and then all of a sudden you get a very exaggerated move to the downside. And we're finding that a lot of people are doing the same thing on the opposite. They're waiting for these coins to break a high, and they assume that if it breaks a high, it's going to jump way higher. And so this sort of this belief pattern that's been developed has amplified itself to the point where everybody's doing it, and it's a very consistent strategy. Now, I think over time these inefficiencies are going to start to disappear, and it won't be this easy. But my strategy is primarily to buy big positions during crashes. So after there's been a big run-up, there's typically a point where people start to take profits, and then as they take too many profits, it causes a landslide in pricing. And while that may seem like a riskier time to buy, it's actually a lot safer, and especially when you look at what other people have shown as a support line to buy into. So you can see in our portfolio, I had been trading options for the last 8 years and watching Bitcoin, and was too slow to get into it early. But when I saw Bitcoin crash to $2,618 is when I first started this portfolio, and we put $1,000 in, and it ran up to 4,700 and sorry, that was the last price. I sold it at 4,286, and then it crashed again. And we didn't buy it, and now it's ramped up to 4,730. Now, we did hop in once it broke the high with a small position. But you can see nearly half of our profit to date was from this one single patient trade. Okay, and then we got into Ripple. At the time, Ripple had very low volume and was sitting on a support level at a very low price. And almost a day later, it jumped and gave our portfolio a 86% profit. Okay, then we got into Dash. Dash is up 62%. We've added to that position and plan to hold it considerably longer. You can see we put another position on the 30th, and that position's up 3% so far. Nothing big. So that's kind of been our overall strategy. I'm going to flip to the charts now, and we'll look at what's going on in the key markets for cryptocurrencies. Okay, so this is Bitcoin Cash. It is very new. It's only 2 weeks old. It skyrocketed to almost 1,000, crashed down to this level where we added a position. We also were given free Bitcoin Cash from the fork when it originally happened, and have been holding on to that as well. So we actually have a very large portfolio position in Bitcoin Cash. If you're a new subscriber and you're trying to follow our model portfolio, this is a great level to get into Bitcoin Cash right now. And I suspect when the next update comes and makes mining easy for Bitcoin Cash, that this price will surge once again. And you can see it's picking up a lot of support whenever it went below this level. A lot of buying came in right away and propped it right back up. So that's where we're at. Bitcoin Cash, we're holding, and our potential profit could be weeks or months away, but I believe it will surpass this 1,000 price by quite some amount. And so at some point during that run up and then pull back, we will take off that position and look for a new re-entry. Okay, so here is the Bitcoin. We put a 10% position in here. What I've been telling everybody is, you either buy at a support level, so it's easy to spot it out. You can get a million indicators out there, but anybody with two eyes can easily see this is a support and resistance line right here between 2,000 and 2,750. A lot of people have invested in Bitcoin at this price, and they're likely to buy more at this price if it ever got near that. But during this price range, not many people have purchased it or shown that they would support it. You can see the volume's much lower. So the odds of it kind of hanging in this area are a lot lower. It's most likely either going to go up, bounce to this recent, my prediction is this is going to go up with volatility, and then probably crash back down to this $4,000 range. And so what I've told our followers is that we're going to slowly build a position into this and see what happens. But right now my plan is to put 10% a week into Bitcoin of our total model portfolio and try to get out of it. I think this is going up to probably $6,000 next. But to get a good dollar cost average on Bitcoin, I'm only doing one 10% portfolio position per week. Now currently we only have $800 in cash to invest, because the rest of it is used in these different coins that we're holding positions on, and we may be able to close some of those out for profits. So for those of you who are new and you're trying to follow it, we got in at 4478 and it's already jumped $300. So I would wait for the next buy signal that I alert before putting any more money into Bitcoin right now, because right now it's at a high. There should be some volatility to take advantage of. And so if you do want to do anything, I would put a limit order in at this price right here. This is the current resistance level that it may drop down to and touch. And only risk 10% of your portfolio if you want to follow the same risk I'm taking in my portfolio. We're not at extremely cheap prices on Bitcoin, so we're chasing a profit. When I'm chasing a profit, I'm not going to risk a ton of money. Not all at once, at least. So because we're going into a long weekend, I'm not going to set up any other limit orders. We're just going to kind of let this model portfolio ride through the weekend. Monday, I'm going to take off, but Tuesday we will have our next update. Okay, Dash, we bought it during this dip. We bought it way down here during this dip. So I like to buy when we get into a dip and near a resistance level. To see this extreme volume spike right here is a good sign. To see this drop and then jump up is a good sign. So I think this is headed towards much higher higher pricing. And during a move like this is when I'm going to try to attempt to get out. So a lot of these moves have had about 3 total blocks of movement up in like a straight up movement. So likely in the $480 to $500 range is where we'll try to sell our Dash. Okay, so here's one we missed the boat on. I've been thinking about it, and boy, it just jumped up overnight. So this is one that we will wait to see a sell-off. We just had the spike. The spikes generally can create a dramatic sell-off. During that sell-off, we'll likely get back into it. And the next question is this going to break into new highs, or is this just a big sideways trend right here? So there's no action to take on that. Okay, Ethereum is tied with its all-time record. and it may not be long till the algos turn on and pump this one up, or it may crash way back down. So if it were to hit 420, that would be a great buying opportunity. We bought some Ethereum right here, which was transferred to our ICO portfolio. So we use Ethereum to purchase initial coin offerings. Now, for those of you who are just on the free trial, if you upgrade at this webpage, cryptotraders.tips/upgrade, the link's below the YouTube video. You can upgrade for only $1. It rebills $97 a month, or you can pay $4.97 a year, and you'll get text messages, you'll get emails, you'll get access to me, and you'll get our ICO portfolio, initial coin offering portfolio. So for free, you can enjoy this big portfolio. But if you want to get in on the ICOs that I'm investing in, you're going to have to upgrade. So that's why we purchased that Ethereum. And it looks like Ethereum has a great chance of having a big push up right here. So I'm not currently purchasing that today, but Tuesday we may look at jumping on the Ethereum bandwagon. Although again, the last time it got this high, it crashed from 390 to here would have been a 50. So it crashed some tremendous 70 or 80% of its total value over that time period, which is incredible. From 612 to 716, so for a month it just crashed hard. And that is the kind of opportunity we like. Alright, Litecoin continues to be on a tear, just going up almost every day. And we definitely are interested in getting into this during the next crash. At some point, someone's going to say, okay, I've made too much money, and start dumping stocks, and that's going to hit everybody else's limit order so that they get to capture some of their profits, and the next thing you know, this thing crashes tremendous amount, and that's when we'll get into Litecoin. We missed the boat for chasing a profit right here when it broke a high. Okay, now here's a new position we put on, which is still applicable if you're a new follower and you want to follow our portfolio. 5% position right here. So it's dead, nothing's happening, volume's accumulating, it's staying flat. That's a great sign. And I do believe we can break this recent high. So probably the potential to hit 20 to 24 cents is coming our way. Okay, RAP, we do not have a position on or a limit order currently. I'm too interested in some of the bigger coins right now, but I do believe this quite likely will go from 27 to 34 from here. But right now I'm not putting a trade on it. I'd like to do a little more research. This order we had put out yesterday but didn't get filled, so I'm just going to go ahead and cancel it. We'll look at re-entering it on Monday, but you can see it would have already been up about 10% today if we had gotten filled. Trading at a low range, but the overall chart's a little bit discouraging. The only good news is that after this crashed tremendously, a lot of people have been willing to buy it in the 17-cent range. You can see these big spikes in volume whenever it gets into this 15 to 17-cent range. Now it's at 23 cents, so this is not a great buy, but if it gets to here, it may be on the next ramp up. Okay, Monero, we took a 5% position right here, expecting a shoot up. This one's been in such a parabolic move up that I couldn't help it but take a small position. If it were to have a dramatic crash of 50% or more, we'd probably go up to a 20% position on this. But for now, we're letting 5% of our portfolio ride this higher while this craze is in motion. Okay, Ripple, we bought here. It was a dead, low traded volume stock. It was at this low level, but I knew the fundamentals of it. I knew it had good people behind it. Google and all the big hedge funds in Palo Alto are behind this one. We sold right at the top. That was a lucky sell. It crashed. We rebalanced our position back to 10%. we experienced drawdown, and now it's bounced back up and it's back into small profit. I'm expecting this to potentially trade at least past this high. So at least to 32. Likely we can sell this one in the 35 to 40 cent range if things go right. Okay, Zcash is a favorite mining coin right now. It's one of the most profitable coins to mine. The daily volume, when I was watching it, was around 20 million. It's been going up, and we put a small 5% position here, expecting another little jump, so may sell that out between 320 to 340 and then look for another dip. So this has had a big run up, and then it had that same crash that Ethereum had, and it's starting to rebuild its price value. So that's a wrap. If anybody has any questions, please leave a comment below. I'm happy to help, and I want to help everyone succeed. Our goal, again, is to safely grow a model portfolio with real money trading cryptocurrencies. So we may not necessarily beat every coin's total return, but we're going to try to do it with a lot less risk. And I measure risk by the drawdown our portfolio holds to obtain those risks. So we've done a good job. We've had almost no drawdown, maybe a 10% drawdown for a short period of time on this Bitcoin position, and then it skyrocketed up and brought in 63% profit. So the rest of them we've been buying primarily either on a very low price or as it's breaking past an all-time high, and then we're just selling it for a quick scalping trade. So that's our update today, and I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday morning.